State would want to have a lot of say. The numbers I see, since Newark has been brought up, it's about $1 billion budget, I understand, with over $700 million of that coming from the state of New Jersey in the form of schooling. And I believe that's over $16,000 a student. Coming from the state of New Jersey, towns I represent receive $1,000, many of them. So if school systems are going to expect a lot of assistance from the state, I can see arguments why the state would want to be involved in making decisions, since in Newark they're funding over 70% of the budget. As I said, towns I represent, it's less than 10%, significantly less. But I do believe in the principle of local control and local input, so I will be voting yes on this bill.
Senator Allen.
Thank you. I'd like to also speak. I'm saddened that we don't have anyone speaking, explaining to us why this program has been instituted. I'd really like to know what the thinking is, and very clearly there has been a communication breakdown because it appears that parents have not been told in either of these cities that have been mentioned today. That concerns me. I do, however, on the other hand, like to see innovation, to see if there are ways that we can help those many children that are not making it out of high school today, starting early and making it. I don't know whether this is a program that will do that or not. Because I have so many questions, I am going to abstain on this bill and see if I can get more information.
Senator Beach.
Yes.
Senator Turner.
I'd like to make a comment, please. First, I'd like to thank Senator Rice for bringing this bill before us, and thank you, Senator Ruiz, for posting the bill. I'm troubled too, because it's North today. It could be Trenton tomorrow. This could very well be something that's coming to a neighborhood near you. And I see this as a stealth attack, not just on local control of government, but also on our democracy. And democracy should have nothing to do with one's ability to pay, regardless of the wealth of an individual. They should be entitled to the same opportunities and rights as everyone else. We've been crying for so long about the lack of parental involvement. And how can we say parents should be involved, and at this juncture, in this situation, we're saying we're going to shut them out. And we all know that the schools, that is the backbone of our communities. And we should be encouraging parents not just to get involved in our classrooms, but to be involved in every decision that's made about our schools and the children. So for those reasons, I'm voting yes.
Senator Ruiz.
Thank you. Before I cast my vote for yes, I just wanted to thank everyone who took the trip down here to testify. I think that for members who haven't had a clear view as to what we have been experiencing within our districts, you get to hear a bird's eye perspective of what's been happening. And so I heard words used like the confusion, lack of understanding, so many questions, unanswered policies, hearing from a completely different part of the state, kind of resonating in the same atmosphere of the phone calls that I've been getting to my office, and quite frankly, multitude of questions that I have myself. I think that there's a two-pronged conversation that is occurring. The immediacy of what needs to happen with this bill right now, so that there is a pause and a reassessment to understand what any policy or plan change is, that there is a point of clarity that everyone has who is being impacted, that there is transparency. Because I think that what you heard from some of our parents, no one said that they don't recognize the need for change in some of our school districts. I'm one who has always claimed that we all have to work collectively together to ensure that the experiences that you have are afforded to everybody. The issue at hand is that We don't know precisely in a clear and concise way what is happening, period. On a second level, the Senator Rice, my colleague, talked about CUSAC. You know, the state has recently taken over another district, and it's not to say, you cannot stand here and say that state takeover creates success, because we haven't seen that. We have had conversations about local control in different capacities since my recollection of Lucille Davy, when the city of Newark was already achieving the areas and criteria as written out in CUSAC to come out of local control. That goes back 8, 9 years ago, probably conversations that predated me when I was getting engaged in a capacity of an elected official. We have a bill that is not clear and has too much gray matter when there is not a concrete way for eliminating it. At our next education meeting, we will be having a conversation of CUSAC. I've already asked OLS to construct a bill for the exit component, not for state takeover. If a district is meeting 80, 85% in certain areas, I don't know why there is a need of discussion to return those parts back to local control. It's just clear to me. And that's something that I look forward to discussing with everyone in this room, all the stakeholders, and our colleagues across the board when this comes to the floor. This isn't about interfering with change. This isn't about not understanding that we have to create better avenues of success for our students. But this is about respect. This is about inclusion. This is about transparency. And this is about creating an agenda that moves us all forward instead of creating an atmosphere of chaos and turmoil. And I vote yes.
Yay.